Multnomah County District Attorney Mike Schmidt said that he will prosecute the demonstrators arrested at Portland State University. And this comes as Schmidt faces a huge re-election challenge coming from within his own office.
That person, senior prosecutor Nathan Vasquez, he is trying to unseat his boss. And Vasquez is on the attack, blaming Schmidt for Portland's problems.
KOIN 6 political director Ken Body interviewed both candidates multiple times, and you moderated a debate between those two candidates. And can you say there's really some big differences between these two candidates?
Yes, there are. Even though they work in the same office, they are not in the same page when it comes to what the Multnomah County District Attorney should do.
This is not a trial position. This is a job for somebody who's actually done anything that's running state. I've run a state agency, managed budgets, HR, and grown these things. That's the kind of experience that matters in this job, and so that's why I'm running again.
Our community has become unrecognizable and unsafe, and it's compelled me to take on this role, because what we need is a professional prosecutor and not a politician running that office.
Two men with differing views on managing a DA's office with 260 employees and a $50 million budget. Mike Schmidt was elected DA in May of 2020 with 76% of the vote. A Lewis and Clark Law School graduate, he is former executive director of the Oregon Criminal Justice Commission. Nathan Vasquez, also a Lewis and Clark alum, has been a prosecutor for 23 years. He is a senior deputy in the DA's office and has run the DA's neighborhood unit. Schmidt took office during a volatile time in Portland with a raging pandemic and the George Floyd protests.
His very first effort as a DA was to come forward and tell the community all the things he wasn't going to prosecute.
I've consistently increased the budget of the Multnomah County District Attorney's Office, and every year that I've been the district attorney, prosecution rates have increased, and now they are at 7- and 8-year highs.
While that is true, Multnomah County is also issuing charges in fewer cases than before the pandemic, from nearly 13,000 in 2018 to just over 8,000 in 2023. Although Schmidt was an early supporter of Measure 110, both candidates applaud the changes the legislature made to recriminalize street drugs. They differ in their view of the role of the DA's office when the changes take effect September 1st. Does it mean more people going to jail?
If they're dealing drugs to our children, absolutely. If they are out there causing problems in a way that is the disorder that we have seen in the past years, I'm not afraid for people that are committing violent crimes that they should go to jail. When we're talking about individuals that are suffering from that substance use disorder, that's about connecting people to treatment.
I asked Schmidt the same question.
Inevitably, there will be. There will be people that go to jail because of this. There's no doubt about it. But my goal, and I think the goal of the legislation, is to get people connected to treatment as much as possible, and at every opportunity give them the option to engage in treatment so that we don't have to use jail. Jail is the last resort.
Schmidt points out that he lobbied the legislature to change Measure 110 once he realized it wasn't working, and helped secure $25 million for a detox drop-off center that Multnomah County is now moving forward with.
We just need to make sure that the drop-off center is something that they are going to use.
Vasquez emphasizes his experience as Multnomah County's lead prosecutor. He's handled high-profile felony cases, including murders, rapes, and robberies. It's a major difference between him and Schmidt.
Well, if you look just purely at his record, he's never tried a serious case. He's never handled a homicide. He's never done even really a complex or even really not a complex assault case.
Well, first of all, I've handled dozens of trials over my career.
But Schmidt says that's not the primary job of the DA. He says he's significantly boosted the number of prosecutors in his office to nearly 100, partnered with law enforcement on the auto theft and retail theft task forces that have sent repeat offenders to prison, created a new homicide unit, and is focusing on the root causes of Portland's record gun violence.
The NRA historically has blocked our ability to study gun violence for decades. But I partnered with OHSU to study gun violence locally like the public health issue and emergency that it is.
He sees the giant billboard sponsored by People for Portland blaming him for the condition of the city. And within his own office, several female employees have accused Schmidt of creating a hostile work environment.
Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. Mike Schmidt has destroyed the morale in the DA's office, absolutely destroyed it. We've lost 50% of the attorneys in our office. 50% have walked out the door. That's a ton of experience. These aren't retirements. These are people leaving because morale's so bad.
Look, the reason morale's been tough is probably the same reason that it's been tough in all of your industries over the pandemic. It has been hard. When I got started with 72 prosecutors, caseloads were at an all-time high. We weren't resolving the cases. That's hard on prosecutors.
Meanwhile, the Oregon State Bar has dismissed a complaint from a Lewis and Clark professor against Vasquez for a statement in this year's voters pamphlet. The statement says a violent criminal was released from prison and once free, he murdered 4 women. That suspect, who is not named, has not been charged with the murders. However, the bar found no evidence of professional misconduct on Vasquez's part. Schmidt and Vasquez are the only 2 candidates in this race, so whoever wins in the May 21st primary will be the next Multnomah County District Attorney. Although this is a nonpartisan race, Schmidt does identify himself as a Democrat in the voters pamphlet. He is endorsed by several Democratic organizations, the Portland Association of Teachers, and social justice organizations, including Basic Rights and the Latino Network. Vasquez, on the other hand, has the endorsement of several first responders and litigators, including firefighters unions in Portland and Gresham, the Portland Police Association, and the Multnomah County Prosecuting Attorneys Association. So big differences, not only in their philosophies, but in the people who are supporting them as well.
Ken, thanks for bringing that to us, because this is important when people are trying to make that decision, to listen to these debates. Now, you moderated one, and to stories like this where you get how they feel about different attitudes, and that's important when we sit down and fill out our ballots.
And both men have been consistent in their views over the course of the campaign.
All right. Thanks, Ken.